Hello, and welcome to episode 7 of
The Eldritch Podblast.
I am Margaret.
I am Jack.
And welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you for being here.
Yes.
Hello to all the new subscribers we've gotten in the past week or so.
Yes.
We are so grateful to have you.
Yes, welcome.
We're so happy you're here. A few of you came from TikTok again.
Yeah.
A few of you came from just good old YouTube,
Good old
I suppose.
YouTube.
And we just want to make it clear right off the bat that this is a safe space for you. You are welcome here anytime.
Yeah.
There is no judgment. There is no room for homophobia.
Nope.
For sexism.
Nope.
For racism.
Nope.
Transphobia.
Nope.
None of it.
No body shaming. Nothing like that. And just to be clear, we are a small channel. If you think that any of those topics are funny or there is room for discussion or room for debate in those, we just want to let you know, yes, we're a small channel, but do not subscribe, do not like the video, do not comment, go the fuck away, because we don't want you here.
Just piss off.
We're trying to build a little community here that is positive, is inclusive, and is safe.
Definitely.
And if you aren't on board with that, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.
But yes, you're all very, very, very welcome here. We just wanted to make that really clear right off the bat.
Yeah.
And you know what? We can disagree with each other.
Yeah.
Dissing each other.
Dissing and then agreeing.
Disagreeing with each other is what makes for a well-rounded conversation that sometimes we all need.
Yeah, we all need to learn. Nobody's the finished article.
But we will not tolerate people attacking each other.
Nope.
Attacking us.
Nope.
It's just something that we're saying.
I care less about.
Yes, but we will not have people coming here and attacking viewers and people who comment and people who like. We just won't have it.
Nope.
Just want to set that off the bat.
Yeah.
Straight away. And also, I also want to say to all the people who leave like comments on the YouTube channel, comments on the TikTok, first of all, thank you.
Yeah.
That is amazing. I love talking to you. And it's me.
It's mostly Margaret.
It is me. There is a lot of times where I run past comments to Jack so he can hear what you guys are saying. But
I'm currently 29 years old, but I am basically, when it comes to phones and TikTok and computers, I might as well be 96.
Yes.
Because I'm terrible at them. So Margaret's like, Margaret's like cool.
I'm also nearly 30.
Margaret's like cool and hip and young and stuff, and I'm not.
That you're only as young as you make it, and as young as
but I don't make it. I'm very old.
You choose to
I'm
live
very
this
very
life.
old.
Yeah. So if you do leave a comment, just know it's most likely me replying.
But
if you want Jack,
it's mostly us both replying, but Margaret is
physically
helming.
typing it out. Yeah. But if you want something from Jack. We've had a few people messaging us asking for advice on a couple of things.
Yeah.
If you want to hear from Jack specifically, just let us know. Jack
and Margaret will scribe my answer.
Exactly. But yes, thank you so much to everyone who commented.
If you get one from me, it'll just be misspelt.
No, that's not true.
I got fat little sausage fingers.
No,
you see.
well,
I got chubby little round finger ends. So when I try and type with my thumbs, I press like 4 keys at once.
Jack types. He's that guy who types with his middle finger.
That is not true.
I'm spreading vile rumours.
That is not true.
Well, show him how you'd scroll.
No, I don't. But the thing is, like, now and then I do it. And, like, I'm just, like, looking at my phone.
And he holds it down here.
I fucking don't. I've got 20... Look, you're the one with glasses on.
Specky 4 eyes.
I've got 20/20 here.
Yeah, whatever.
Sometimes when I look at it and I scroll with my middle finger, Margaret fucking finds it so hilarious. So now I make sure I try and hold it as far away as possible. I get my middle finger out like that and I go...
When we're out at restaurants.
Yeah, I do it in public because it upsets Margaret so much.
And when we're going through the menu, he'll point with his middle finger.
Yeah, I will. Oh, that looks nice.
Oh, man, it's heinous.
What about that dish?
Straight to electric chair.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
That's what I deserve.
Yeah. So, anything you want to update the people on?
I don't know.
Are you going to say, oh, no, not really again? Because we don't do anything.
No. A little update on our D&D session. Last session, we sort of... My continent has like 3 different areas.
Yeah.
And we're on session 14. It's not really 14 because we had 2 real mega sessions that were probably 2 to 3 sessions and 1 at Christmas.
Yeah.
So we're more like 15 to 20 sessions through. and we've just finished the first area, finished everything up, and now we're moving on to our second part.
Yeah, very, very exciting. There was a big lore dump. We learned a lot of stuff about the world.
There was a lot of lore.
There was a lot of us going directly into each other's faces.
Which is good. Do you want to know what? Sometimes, like right at the beginning of the campaign, you just want to tell your characters everything.
Yes.
Because you're so excited about all the lore of your world. But it got to the point where it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing because my players are really invested in the world, and they like to know the lore, and they ask a lot of questions, and they go to a lot of libraries.
Yes, we do a lot of research.
They get a lot of books. They have topics.
It helps that the dude who helms the research, his name is Dagmar.
Yeah.
He is the sweetest, cutest little dude on planet Earth.
He's like a friar.
We love Dagmar.
Yeah, he helps them. He's clued up. There's a lot of giants in my world, and giants used to sort of like roam the world previously.
And he's obsessed with them.
And he's obsessed with giants. So any giant related research got advantage, and there was a lot of stuff.
There was a lot of giant research.
And you learned a lot about the lore.
We did.
So
it was great.
But yeah, moving out of Area 1 into Area 2.
Yeah, it's like a new chapter.
Yeah, it's where Josh's character's from.
Yeah.
He's the only one from there, so it's
yes,
good.
Very exciting.
So that's happened this week.
Yes.
But apart from that, do you want to know what? We've been busy with TikTok and YouTube.
Been real busy with TikTok and YouTube.
Felt amazing, and I know we've already said it, but thank you all so much.
Thank you. Should we do the... Go on.
Yeah?
Thank you. Oh,
thanks a lot, because we've only been going for, what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
And the support...
My goodness.
Has been insane.
Goodness. And you know what? To our friends who are watching as well, who know us in real life, it means more than you know that every week you ask us and you tune in.
They watch it as well, the people in our campaign.
Which is just unbelievable. And to switch it up a little bit here, I was kind of worried. We haven't actually told anyone in our kind of personal lives and our friendship groups, apart from the people we play D&D with.
We don't have other friends.
No, we don't. I have no friends.
We do, but nobody close
Hit
enough.
Hit us up if you want to be our friends.
Close enough for
please,
us.
Please.
Close enough to, tell. That's my brother.
Yeah, you told. Yeah.
Yeah,
but we didn't really go out and make it public amongst the people we know that we've been doing this. Through a lot of my own personal insecurities. Yeah. Kind of worried that sometimes the people closest to you are the first to laugh at you. Which is a ridiculous thought, and our friends have been so supportive, the ones who know, and you guys have been so supportive.
Yeah.
So
anyway, we'll stop gushing now.
Yes.
What are we talking about?
What are we
talking?
Well, you know what? I did want to touch on one more thing.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Before we get into it, we're 8 minutes in, and we've just waffled.
That's okay.
I had my first tarot card reading done the other day.
Oh yeah, you said you want to talk about that.
Yes. Abby, who plays in our campaign, one of our very good friends, she came round. She is the spookiest bitch you've ever met.
Yeah.
She is like an alien in a human suit, and I know that will be the highest compliment for her. She loves anything spiritual, and she loves anything paranormal. And I just thought, fuck it, give me a tarot card reading.
Yeah. Very
positive. It came out really well.
I know that you're not supposed to like share, are you? Because
I'm not gonna share like the cards I got, but I got some really positive cards.
Nice.
That I feel really affirm everything that I'm feeling and doing right now, and everything we're doing right now.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling very positive because of that, which is great. I was scared it was going to be like, you're going to die on the 17th of August, or something like that. But
I don't think they actually do that, though.
People who are into tarot and spirituality are listening, being like, shut the fuck up. And we also did some of the spooky stuff, which I won't elaborate on right now. But if anyone cares, I'll talk about it.
Yeah, and while Margaret was doing that, I was at a death metal gig
in Newcastle. Yes, he was.
And it was very good.
Yeah.
My brother bought, because death metal's like a weird thing. The T-shirts are a big thing in death metal.
Yeah, T-shirts are cool in death metal as well.
So Dan bought himself 5 pieces of merch.
Nice.
So, But yeah, we did that. That was amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so shall we get on to our actual topic of the day?
Go for it.
Today, I would like to talk to you all about D&D Horror Stories.
Oh, no. D&D Horror Stories.
D&D Horror Stories.
It's the usual stuff. I haven't actually heard these yet.
Yes, these are all new to Jack.
Yeah.
We have about 7 or 8, I think.
Okay.
They kind of range from a bit funny, a bit like, oh shit, and then a bit like, wow, that is truly a horror story.
Okay. Okay. We like a range here.
Yeah, we like a range. I wasn't sure what to expect going in. And yes, some of them are bad. Some of them are just a bit funny.
Okay.
Would you like to get straight into it?
I would like to hear number one. Numero uno.
Okay. Number one. I made the mistake of making a low intelligence character.
Okay.
Haven't we all?
Every single person in my campaign right now.
Intelligence dump start.
I don't know why everyone does it, but it is such a commonly dumped. That and strength.
Strength.
I can understand strength, but you aren't the first and you won't be the last.
No, well, this person, well, we'll get into it.
Yes, please.
So I heard a friend of mine was going to start a D&D campaign, and I asked him if I could join. He told me I could. Me and 4 other people were playing, including the DM, who gave us standard ability scores, with the lowest score for the ability being 8, and told us to make a character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Normally quite standard.
8 into that intelligence. I made a barbarian and decided to have intelligence as a jump stats. Come on, that's
totally
fair
fine.
enough.
That's fine.
This turned out to be a problem because somehow this became the only trait of my character, a big dumb brute.
Okay, yeah.
If I ever said something that was remotely smart, I took 2 HP of psychic damage.
Oh my god, was that a personal choice or was that like a DM rule? Oh
no, that was not a personal choice. It gets worse.
Oh no.
If I ever said something that was remotely smart, I took 2 HP of psychic damage. This was annoying, but everyone else laughed, so I didn't say much.
Okay.
But this kept going on. If I ever suggested a nice idea, the DM at 2 times even said that the wizard came up with the idea that I suggested. Sounds like there is something going on in that DM brain.
Yeah.
That is very unfair.
Okay. Maybe it's like a... You know when everyone laughs and then you go, oh, you take 2 points of psychic damage as a joke.
Yeah.
And then everyone was like, oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah, and then
the DM just sort of like made that a rule.
Yeah, but then, most of the time when you say things like that, you don't actually take the 2 psychic damage.
No, you don't actually take the psychic damage.
So,
okay.
The rest of the character's dump stats didn't even matter. The monk could do plenty of push-ups despite her having a strength of 8. The wizard's low charisma score nor the bard's low wisdom ever mattered in the entire story. When I said that the push-ups should need an athletic check for the monk, it was dismissed, as the monk had been training all her life. The point being, I felt I was being targeted every session.
Yeah, it sounds like you were.
Sorry, it sounds like you were.
It sounds like you were.
The final part, in the 4th session, there was a puzzle with a riddle and 4 doors. I thought it was obvious that the silver door was the right choice, but the wizard said the bronze door was the right one. I told them that the silver is the right one, and the DM became annoyed. My character took 2 points of psychic damage for thinking too hard. I told the DM, why did he even make a puzzle if one of the players shouldn't even help?
True.
Our argument became loud and I left the game.
Good on you.
Yeah, good choice.
Good choice. Good
choice. That sounds like that DM just was intentionally trying to single you out and trying to get you to leave.
Yeah.
Which is shit.
Yeah, it is shit, and especially because nobody else is... It does sound like it was funny once.
Yeah.
And then the DM just sort of began to single you out and pick on you a little bit.
Yeah.
That last bit, look, I've sat at my computer and thought of puzzles for you all to do. And sometimes...
I don't know what you're going to say.
Sometimes the simplest puzzles take 45 minutes, and sometimes the most complex puzzles takes 3 seconds.
Yes.
And it sounds like this DM was a little bit hurt that you figured out their puzzle quite easily.
Yeah.
And wanted to sort of punish you for that.
Yeah, which is lame.
Do you know what? Puzzles are meant to be figured out. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how long it takes.
Exactly.
If somebody figures a puzzle out instantly, that makes them feel big brain.
That makes you think, oh, yeah.
It does make you feel amazing.
It does. It does make you feel amazing.
What people forget is we all want them to be really hard and really complex and stuff like that, but puzzles are meant to be solved.
Yes, and it gets to a point where, again, there's a fine line of this is really hard to, oh my god, we can't solve this and now we're really frustrated.
And the fact that the barbarian just figured it out straight away, because, the person who's playing the barbarian, his character might be stupid, but he might not be. And the fact that he figured it out straight away probably made him feel amazing.
Exactly,
and then for him to be like, oh, you take 2 points of psychic damage.
I know.
That's just being sour, man.
That is being sour.
It's just being super sour.
And the fact that the player who had the barbarian said that other players should have to make checks for these things, and their dump stat didn't matter. I'm sorry. It sounds like you were being singled out.
Sounds like
there.
you're being singled out.
Yeah. Glad you left.
Yeah. Do you want to know what? The fact that you stood up and just left.
Just left.
That's a power move.
That is a power move.
That's a power move. And
Good on you.
Good on you. And
Yeah.
do you want to know what? I hope that DM from now on learns the lesson that's
you can't
not okay.
You can't just pick on your players like that. That is lame and stupid.
Lame and stupid.
Okay. Second one. Veteran players bully new DM and new players. Yep, we've heard it all before. This is a slightly lengthier one.
Okay, that's
but
okay.
Very interesting.
I like listening to your voice, you know?
Oh, thank you.
Especially in these headphones.
Oh, thank you. So I was in a D&D group. We fell at
fucking hell.
We fell at the first hurdle.
Jesus Christ. Okay, let's rewind.
So I was in a D&D group, 3 of whom had played D&D for around a decade.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm so sorry. No. You shouldn't have said anything.
No. Decade.
A decade or so. 2 of the other players have started with them when I did a couple of years ago during COVID, and we had a new player midway through. So a mixed group.
Okay.
Historically, the veteran players all took turns being the DM because they had the most experience, so when one of their most recent homebrew campaigns came to an end, I decided to try at my hand at being the DM to let them play together and develop my skills. What a mistake that was. Here are some of the things that the veteran players have done or said.
Do you want to know what? Carry on. I can imagine exactly what this person's going to say.
They have mocked my world every session, calling it a rip-off of multiple games, series, and films. I get some inspiration from various sources of media, as they did. And rightly so.
Just because it's original doesn't mean it's good, my friend.
Uh-huh. And
I fucking rip everything off all the time.
So
and do you want to know what? It's probably better because of it.
100%.
I can't believe how many aspects of my campaigns are not original.
Well,
You just saw Tia, a Norse, like a god in Norse mythology, holding 3 chains, the 3 chains of the children of Loki, like holding them back.
Yeah.
Do you want to know where I got that from?
Go on.
At the end of, I haven't even played Elden Ring. I wish I could, but I just die too often, and it would be a mess, and I get real sad.
Can't deal with it.
Just can't deal with it. I saw like the on the front cover of Elden Ring, there's like a stick with like a crescent moon like going underneath it.
Okay.
And it turns out that's like somebody like attached to the world or something like that.
That's
so he's like holding something up. So I was like, oh man, I would love to have like somebody holding up a world or like holding up something crashing in. And then that turned into, what if somebody was holding the chains of like monsters? And literally,
that's so cool. That's so cool.
It's not my idea.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what? I think to be able to see something that inspires you, that's creative in itself.
Of course it is.
That thought, I would have never thought that. I would have gone, nice moon. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's. I can guarantee you as well. Those other DMs, none of their thoughts are original. None of their ideas. But I bet you it's because they played for so long. Maybe they're like older, traditional D&D players.
It sounds like that's what it is.
Maybe they're taking things from things that these people have never heard before, but just because they haven't heard of it, this person thinks they're really original.
Or it's one of those things where, well, this rule doesn't apply to me because I've been playing for so long.
Yeah.
Anyway, when it was their homebrew worlds taking inspiration, they were praised for their copying, but with mine, it was mocked and jeered at.
Boo!
I'm not entirely sure why. Either way, I made steps to change it because it was called out for that too. They even started to compare it to other universes or series I know nothing about. When I said that, they claimed I must have stolen it somehow. I gave up the battle. They metagame almost exclusively. They would treat it less like D&D and more like a puzzle to guess what I, the DM, have written or made for them. If they can't get the answers through metagaming, they ask if their characters can just know it suddenly so I can tell them and they can move on. It's very draining. That sounds draining.
I can imagine.
That it's so frustrating. Listen, I love a little bit of metagaming.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to have conversations above the table to just work out exactly what the next thing is going to be.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to do that. But metagaming, like, there's a difference between having those conversations and metagaming, I think.
There's a difference between, making a logical decision and then turning to your DM and being like, oh, I bet he's done this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we all know what assuming does. It makes an ass out of you and me.
Oh, how many times have we said that?
Oh God, love that phrase.
Even though I love to assume.
But being like in the middle of a combat, sometimes assuming can be your fucking downfall, by the way.
Yeah,
being
100%.
like, oh, well, it can do this, so it can probably do this. Don't do that because of this. And it's just like, no, do what you want.
Yep.
I'm never going to punish you for trying something.
Yep.
And just trying to guess what the DM's doing is just such bad sportsmanship.
Yeah, that is just so lame.
Especially if someone's just spent the entire week prepping a session and you're like, oh, well, I know you and you would do.
That's horrible.
It's just such a horrible mentality to have.
That is horrible. So next was their endless coaching sessions with me. Every session I get a breakdown of what I've done wrong and what I should improve on. They asked me multiple times to pull up a Word doc and write down what they're saying and include it in the next session and change the story for them.
God.
Fuck off.
That's horrible.
Shut your little mouth.
Who the fuck are these people? Just because they've played do you want to know what? It doesn't matter how long you played Dungeons and Dragons for. It doesn't matter if it's your first session.
100%.
It doesn't matter if you've been playing for 10 years.
Tell
doesn't
them.
matter since you've been playing since the 80s.
Tell them.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter at all.
That doesn't make you a better player. That doesn't mean you know more.
Absolutely not.
If this dungeon master comes in and wants to shake things up and do things differently, they should be able to do that. Just because you've done it doesn't mean it's the right way to do it. Fuck you.
Gets worse.
Does it really? I thought that was it.
No, Jack, there's quite a bit more.
Oh, no.
Next is the in-jokes. Two of the players would often get together and make really mean jokes about certain things in the session, either how I said it or how the story was going. Other players told me this and they eventually admitted it. If something doesn't make sense right away, either they missed the point, I messed up, or because it's by design. They laugh about it and mock it, and when the appropriate reveal comes to light, they feel it's because they made it happen by playfully pointing out my mistakes.
That feels like an actual personal attack on me, because it's not.
Oh.
There is so many times in my campaign where I like to think I'm quite nuanced with my storytelling.
Yeah, no, you are.
Like, it's not just like a boom, here's the story. There's like bits.
Yes, there's a lot of
here,
build-up.
A little
Yes.
bit there, a little bit there. Oh, it happened 20 sessions ago,
Yeah.
and now we're harking back to it and stuff like that. And there's times where, maybe I do it too much and some of the players don't get it. But, like, just because it's no one's fault if it's somebody said something in a certain way and the player hasn't got it.
Yeah.
That doesn't reflect badly on the DM.
That's not the DM's fault.
No, but it also doesn't reflect badly on the players either.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh no, that's definitely our fault.
And I just don't know where this is coming from these other people.
It's coming from them being assholes.
Yes.
That's where it's coming from.
Obviously they're assholes. We can agree on that. But where is this deep hatred and disdain
For this
and
person.
disrespect coming for this new person?
Because-
It's gatekeeping.
Because that's gatekeeping,
Yeah.
and that's what they like to do.
Fuck that,
They've been playing
man.
longer than you, so they know better than you.
That's-
Shouldn't you understand that by
That's
now?
so lame.
A lot of that happens in this community as well, and it's fucking bullshit.
It does. And that is lame and stupid, and it needs to stop.
100%.
So here was the final straw.
Yeah.
They kept telling other less experienced players what to do during roleplay and combat and take away their agency. And here is an example.
Okay, just before.
Yes.
I love my party. Love them. I fucking...
But I actually hate them.
I fucking worship them. They are the best fucking D&D group I could have asked for. It's perfect. I love it. But the other day, I actually had to tell you all off.
He did have to tell us all off.
I didn't tell them off, but I literally said, there was like a moment where I think you tried to do something in a situation.
Yeah.
And sometimes these situations, they get the better of us and out of character.
It's because we all really care.
Yeah, of course it is. And I know that. And when I explained it, I was like, I know it's because you all just want the best.
Mm-hmm.
But Margaret tried to do something, and all three of the other characters, players, wasn't even characters, out character, like, no, don't do that. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
No, because in those moments, you basically tried to hold person somebody, and if it had gone wrong, one of the characters might have died.
Yeah.
But imagine if you'd pulled that whole person off.
Yeah.
You guys didn't know, but I had got to that point where I expected that Matthew's character could stay at the bag of holding. I'll just give you the short run. He got like assassinated, basically.
Yes.
And he went unconscious, and the person who had him unconscious held a knife to his throat as you ran towards the person, and he said, if you come any closer, I'll slit this guy's throat.
And by the way, my character is so chewy.
Oh, the chewiest.
She's so chewy.
The fucking chewiest character on earth.
Yeah.
So you wanted to wild shape out of bear form and cast whole person. And I was like, okay. Everybody else said, no, don't do it because he's going to kill my character. What they didn't know was after this session, they were about to be level 5, which meant they already had some diamonds and could have cast Revivify. It had all gone wrong. But I don't like it when there's a big decision and people weigh in out of character on what somebody wants to do.
To be fair, on reflecting on that situation, I actually think I didn't know that we were going to level up and have Revivify.
No.
So I actually do think that would have been very reckless of me.
Yeah.
And I should not have put someone else's character in a position like that, because that is not fair. Because if that had happened to me, I wouldn't have said something out of game, but I probably would have been upset. Well, I would have been upset if my character died.
But I think
that is a very strange example because, in my opinion, I shouldn't have diced with my friend's life in game.
Yeah, but you weren't just dicing. This person had taken something from you that, you know... It wasn't like you were just doing it because you wanted to fucking see how far you could push this dude.
No.
This person was trying to take something from you.
Yes.
Something very important in terms of the story.
Yes.
Especially that you know now.
Oh, no, yeah, now, yeah. But again, that's all in hindsight.
But to me, in that position, whether or not, those are campaign-defining moments, in my opinion.
Yes.
And if we all come out of character and tell each other what to do, I think that sometimes those campaign-defining decisions can be made for us instead of made by us.
Yes, I agree. I agree that, our group did get at one point quite bad for telling each other what to do.
Yeah.
Which none of us did it intentionally.
No, and
never did it intentionally.
And I don't begrudge anyone for doing it because I understand that it's because everyone loves their characters so much and everyone puts so much into their characters and they don't want them to die.
Exactly.
I get it, but I also don't like that.
Yeah.
And I made that clear.
No.
And
And you know what? You said it. We all apologized.
Yeah.
And we haven't done it since.
I don't need to apologize, and I'm not telling you off. You just know that, like, sometimes, in those moments, it is high stakes, and I understand why people do it, but I just don't like it.
I agree. Well, here is not a similar example that they've given, but an example nonetheless.
Okay.
So, DM, me. Right, combat starts. We've rolled for initiative. Yennefer the wizard, you're up first. 3 orcs hidden from sight suddenly emerge and surround you. You're newer to D&D, so please take your time. Yennefer. Okay, so I will use my Misty Step to... Veteran 1. No, you should disengage and run away. You need to save your spell slots for the obvious BBEG we think the DM has planned later on. That is not optimal. Vet 2. I agree. That...
Oh, big surprise.
Or you should... And then it just goes on from there. That, don't tell people what to do.
Never.
If they have not asked. If they haven't explicitly said, I'm unsure what to do, please can you help me? Or do you guys have any idea what to do? Don't go, no. That's not optimal.
I think, I know a lot of players can sometimes be even too far the other way. Like, when a new player is struggling on their turn, can be like, I don't want to tell them what to do. And that, in my opinion, that's a better mindset to have than this.
Yeah.
But, sometimes new players do need a little bit of help. And the fact that this DM as well was like, you're a new player, take your time. Love that. That's amazing. Like, because there's a lot of pressure in combat. And
there is yeah.
You just need to understand that nobody's going to rush you. Nobody's going to, you don't have 6 seconds like you actually have in your turn. You've got as much time as you need. Like, ask any questions. Don't worry about it. If we mess things up, doesn't matter. That is the textbook of the worst thing to do.
Yeah, agreed. I agree. That's just...
I'm going to use my... No, you don't do that. No, because, first of all, you're assuming what the DM's got planned.
Yeah,
this could just
there's going to be a BBEG at the end of this.
This could just be a travel encounter.
Come on. And you know what? So fuck. What if she wanted to use her spell slots there? Who cares?
Margaret in my first campaign used to blow all of her spell slots in the first 5 minutes of a day.
I'm not a good example because I hated that.
But you want to know what? The other two was like, I'm not telling you what to do. But we do know that we've got a boss encounter in about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
They were like the complete opposite. They let her do it, and then after the combat, they were like, Margaret, how many spell slots you got?
And I did that in Matthew's campaign as well.
So funny.
I always blew my load in the first instance.
But
and
it doesn't matter.
I'm so bad.
Because you did, somebody else didn't have to.
Yeah.
And because you did, do you want to know what? It's what you wanted to do.
True.
It's a game.
True. So that is pretty much how the combat goes. It's the veterans metagaming on how to best overcome the encounter while we all sit around waiting for them to finish.
Tell you what, that must be the most fucking boring encounter. That must be the most fucking boring combat. I bet you there is absolutely zero imagination.
Yeah, and Jesus, for the DM as well, that must be the most depressing thing.
Tell you what, those fucking guys.
Go on,
Tell you what, I bet you they're the ones that have read all the monsters in the monster manual. And hate it when DMs homebrew them because they're like, oh man, I can't figure out how many fucking hit points it's got left and what its AC is and what fucking abilities it's got.
Yep.
Fuck me. Shut up.
The new player just doesn't even get to act in their turn.
Boo.
When I interrupt and ask them to not do this and allow other players to take their turns, I get shouted down and told it's good coaching for me to listen and improve because they're just helping.
Do you want to know what as well? Good on them because they're just such great players.
Yeah, man.
We all want to be more like those guys.
Please, I want to tell people what to do with their spare time that they're putting aside.
Having a new player play D&D for the first time and like watching their brains work and watching the way they
100%.
Because they don't understand every way to get in and out of an encounter,
which makes them so much more creative. I think
it's the creative, and you need to like as a DM. Oh, I want to try this. Fuck yeah, go for it. Let's see if the dice allow you to do it.
Like, I think maybe when you've played the game for a while, obviously in these people's cases, obviously you actually push yourself into a box of the monster has this, I'm going to do this, and it saps all creativity out of it.
You begin to like fall into a routine, and sometimes I think having a new player there can really
it freshens it up.
Freshens it up. Like, oh man, I can't believe that worked, and you tried that,
and it inspires other people to try and do more creative things as well.
Yeah,
I agree.
Great. I love it when you guys like you try some crazy shit and just being like, yeah, man, if the dice allow it, let's just do it.
Yeah, that's the joy.
That's the beauty of the game, isn't it?
That's the beauty of the game.
We all come to roll some dice, so if you want to do something stupid as fuck,
go for it, baby.
As long as the dice say yeah.
Yeah. So, kind of on to the last paragraph here.
Oh my god, there's more.
Yeah.
Oh god.
2 of the veterans also dropped out around 5 sessions in, calling the story boring and uninteresting.
Good.
They then sat me down and talked at me for just under 2 hours about how I could improve on everything I'm doing and what they would do with my word lore if they were the DM.
I hope you took your Word document notes.
You better have taken notes.
Yeah.
Somehow the conversation morphed and I was listening to them talk about their homebrew lore and how it's better than mine for most of this. Wow, I could have never foreseen that happening.
All of those dudes should get together and play a game because they all seem to they can have, their game where they all have no fun.
Yeah.
And have absolutely no imagination.
Well, they probably do have fun because they're in control of their own game, but
this is just 2 different types of fucking people trying to fucking smash each other together. But it doesn't matter if that was the case, but don't tell each other how to play.
Thing is,
I say each other, you don't tell this person how to DM, you don't tell this person how to play.
I wonder if these veterans, if they had actually joined a campaign with another veteran that they didn't know, would they have talked to them in this way as well?
Probably. It's like it's just like putting a bunch of fucking animals in a room and just watching them like all try and tear each other apart for domination.
Yeah, just watching loads of narcissists going at it.
Just like, you guys all fucking get together and play your fucking boring game, but this person, do you want to know what? I hope you found a new group.
Well, they actually end it on, I have since started with a new group of new players and we're having a blast.
Fuck yeah.
And they said I'm a great DM. I was just unlucky.
You
Almost a year in with the new group, and I'm glad I got out. Well done.
Well done.
That's exactly what we wanted to hear.
That's exactly what we wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Because,
that could have put a new DM off DMing
I'm surprised.
Forever.
Do you want to know what? The mental fortitude and resilience of this person to
listen to that
receive
bullshit.
that beating, that mental beating from these fucking idiots, to then go on to be like, nah, it was them, not me.
Yeah, yes.
Fuck yeah.
Good.
Good on you.
I think that is kind of the epitome of a D&D horror story, right?
Yeah. That
is like textbook.
When we said D&D horror stories,
Nightmare.
That is what I imagined.
Nightmare. And you know what? OP, you are a better person than I, because I would have blown my lid.
Like,
I just would have blown my lid.
Big fucking dick energy from that dude. I'm so God.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
I think that would have put me off.
Yeah, it would have put me off as well. I probably would have cried.
I definitely would have cried.
Would have had a little bit of a cry.
I'd have got in the car on the way home from every session.
And cried.
cried.
Yes, I would have too. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, fuck no. But like, well, there is, because those dudes made me cry.
They don't make you fucking
It didn't
friends
actually
cry.
happen. It didn't actually happen to me, but I'm like, they made me cry. They made me cry.
Okay, on to the next one, which is a bit more lighthearted.
Thank God.
So the title is just, haha, I need to roll to pee. Oh wait, you're not joking. This is more of a what the fuck story than a true horror story, but I'll say it anyway.
Okay.
I was playing D&D with 6 or so people from my board game club that I knew somewhat well. I'd missed the session the week before because of real life, but I thought I'd gotten up to speed with a short recap from the party. Needless to say, I was wrong.
Oh no.
At some point in the session, I needed to relieve myself. So I got up to go to the toilet and let the DM know what I was doing quietly.
Oh, in real life?
In real life.
Right, okay.
Cue everyone staring at me like I was crazy, with one party member asking what I thought I was doing. I'm just going for a pee.
I'm just doing my natural bodily functions.
Party member, well, you need to roll for that. I laughed, thinking it was a joke and making my way out before everyone continued to glare at me. But the DM told me to stop, telling me I needed to roll. I came back to the table and rolled a 2. Of course. I laughed again and tried to leave one more time, but both the party and the DM were insistent that no, that meant I wasn't allowed to leave. No.
God, what the hell?
So I sat there visibly uncomfortable for the next 10 to 20 minutes and not focusing on what was going on before deciding, fuck this, I'm going anyway. And the RNG gods aren't stopping me. Nobody stopped me that time, but they gave me dirty looks when I came back in the same way you would if someone tried to, say, split the party. I ended up leaving the campaign a few sessions later for unrelated reasons. I'm still in the board game club, but what the fuck? What the fuck indeed?
Do you know what? It's crazy to think that this isn't the first time I've heard of something like this.
Shut your mouth.
No, seriously.
You being serious?
Yeah, people have like designated toilet breaks.
Oh, I know about the designated toilet breaks, but rolling to see if you're allowed to leave the table.
I mean, I don't think it's much better.
Well, I would argue that maybe the designated break, at least you know.
I mean, the designated breaks is better than the rolling, because there could be a point you could not piss the whole session.
Oh my God.
You could just sit there and piss yourself. Like, this is crazy.
That's just funny.
This is just absolute crazy.
That I'm getting Midsummer vibes.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's like, no, where are you going?
We piss ourselves at this table.
Yeah. You think you could pee?
One thing I wish I could ask the person who posted this.
Yeah.
When you walked in the room to play.
Yes.
Did it smell like piss? Did the rooms smell like piss?
Listen,
was the ground underneath the seat wet?
OP, if you're listening to this, please let us know. But that is so funny.
Wow.
That was a nice little
that was a nice
palate cleanser.
It was like a sorbet.
Oh.
In between.
Yes. You know? A piss flavored sorbet. A piss sorbet.
Is it lemon?
Oh.
Is it piss?
Who knows?
They're both yellow.
Yes. Roll a dice.
Roll a dice.
Okay, another funny one.
Yeah.
I accidentally revealed my BBEG on my first session of D&D.
Okay.
So I just started a new homebrew game. It was heavily involved with dragons because Tiamat was raising her way from hell.
Amazing.
And summoned dragons so she could rule the material plane. Badass. The party did not know this information, and further information they did not know was I had Tiamat cast True Polymorph on herself to hide as a human.
Super cool.
Since she's super greedy, I was going to have it be the next thing she wanted to own was companionship. So she was to help the party under the name Madeline Titania.
Cool.
So sometime later, combat happens and she's on the initiative helping the party fight a bandit gang of gnolls. Comes to her turn and I accidentally say, now it's Tiamat's turn. It was at that moment I knew
sadness.
I'd fucked up. A loud fuck could be... it did not register to me that what I had just said as my power said... Sorry. It did not register to me what I just said as my power said, what did you just say?
My player said maybe.
As my player said,
maybe.
What the fuck did you just say, Tiamat? It was at that moment I realised I fucked up. All my party started laughing because I, without realising it, realised my BBEG...
You got it, come on.
Sorry. Without realising it, revealed my BBEG to the party. Mind you, this is all in the first session. Oh,
I'm so sorry.
man.
I'm so sorry.
And the thing is, that sounded really cool as well.
I'm so
She wanted
sorry.
to own companionship, man.
It sounds amazing. The
Same.
campaign sounds amazing. I would love to play in that campaign.
I know.
But do you want to know what, my dude? Sometimes it just happens.
Sometimes it just happens. Sometimes.
In my first campaign, the king of the land had been fucking like taken hostage, and there's a Rakshasa in this place.
Yeah.
Having a little bit of a agenda, underlying agenda that you guys became part of.
Yeah.
The amount of times I nearly fucked up.
I fucking bet. You said the Rakshasa.
Yeah. And you could have been like, man, I had read something earlier, I had Tiamat on the mind, I had Tiamat on the brain.
And you know what? Her name is Madeline Titania. So you
might have been able to.
But
your players would have probably been pretty sus for the rest
and you
of the
know
time,
what?
though.
If it was heavily involved with dragons as well.
Do you know what? At that point, I'd have just tried to own the mistake and be like,
your characters didn't hear that.
Not even that, just like maybe like, it was just a known thing that Tiamat was like back or something like that. Yeah. And it could, the amount of times where that whole thing that happened, like I said earlier in this session, that whole thing that happened with Tia, that was supposed to be a reveal later on in the campaign. But you guys were just so fucking hellbent on this, like, we need to get this picture. And, you know, the fact that you got the picture was pretty impressive anyway, with a natural 20 persuasion check from an uncharismatic member of the party. To then go, I was like, fuck it, yeah, we'll roll with it. You guys can find out that it's Tia and stuff like that, and we'll see how the rest of the campaign like plays out.
Yeah.
Sometimes reveals aren't the worst.
Yes. But I understand the devastation.
I understand in session one. And sometimes as DMs, you can be a little, I know I can be, and I probably speak for a couple of DMs out there. Sometimes we can be a little precious with the secrets.
Yeah, understandably.
I don't know about session one, but sometimes we can be a little precious with the secrets.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's better to just give a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. So, definitely. Again, fine line of we don't know what's going on and it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Well, those were two nice palate cleansers.
I am really sorry, my friend.
Yeah, I'm sorry as well. That sucks.
Just it happens to the best of us.
It does happen to the best of it.
Don't beat yourself up too much about it.
Does. Horror story for a DM, 100%. So let's get back into heinous horror stories.
Let me cough. I'm a little under the weather, guys.
Yeah, so he is.
Bear with me.
Okay. Girlfriend couldn't get a break at the local game stores.
Oh no.
So I managed to get my girlfriend into D&D last summer after playing a few games with friends. To play more, we checked out 2 different game stores. Both times, random men would make her feel super uncomfortable.
Great.
The first time it happened, she was just checking out the store with me before I sat down to play, as she had a time constraint. As I was saying goodbye, one of the men spoke up and said to her, I bet you don't even want to play and you're just going to go do girl stuff.
Fuck. Jesus fucking Christ. What are we, 4 years old?
I know. Are we literally like 12? Are we in fucking
primary school?
The rest of the table laughed and it was totally uncalled for since she did want to play. We both ended up leaving shortly after.
I'm not surprised.
I bet you're just going to go do girl stuff. Like,
D&D isn't a male-only thing. I don't think there is male-only things.
Like,
like those fucking what are they, like, gender normalization? I don't know really what they're called.
I don't know what you're saying.
Shit like that There's just fucking no place for it.
There's
no place for it.
That is so fucking lame.
Anyone is fucking welcome to play D&D. There is nothing that says anything in the fucking guides that it's only a dude's game.
And the fact that the rest of your table laughed, fuck you.
Fuck every single fucking one of you. Do you want to know what? I hope the fucking dude who ran that shop banned him.
Yeah, if you are seeing someone making someone uncomfortable for any reason at all, you should stand up and say that was not cool.
Mm-hmm.
If a man is saying that to a woman and the rest of the men are laughing, one of you needs to fucking say something and get a grip.
D&D has become such a, not just D&D, just like TTRPG games have become such a massive thing in like recent days. And it's just gatekeeping fucking assholes like that who think that girls can't play, that think like younger generations can't play because they're playing a different these guys should go play with those fucking tools from earlier.
Yeah. These are the people who are like, there's only 2 genders.
Yeah, fucking shut the fuck up. And apparently one of those 2 genders isn't allowed to play D&D.
Exactly.
Shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Man, oh god, I don't think I could fucking help myself if I was there, if like something like that happened.
Well, it gets worse.
Oh great.
The next time we were in a different game shop waiting to play, just sitting at the table. A really quiet guy had been listening to her, and as I decided what snacks to buy, the guy says to her, "Would you rather have an orgasm in your mouth or in your stomach?" I immediately say, "Take it easy, dude, you're over the line. First of all,
good on you for fucking saying something."
If that was the situation, if I had gone into a game store with you and someone had spoken to me like that, I think I don't even want to know. I think you would have had to stop me.
I think, Margaret doesn't need any protecting. She is a feisty motherfucker. It's so tough because we've been into our local game store and it was so amazing there.
Oh my god, everyone was so nice.
Everyone was so welcoming.
Welcoming, yeah.
Because, you know, it is daunting going into a place where probably people frequent quite a lot.
Yeah.
And there's already groups of people already well established there.
Yeah.
We walked in and everyone was like, "Hey,
the
how you doing?"
People we didn't even know
Never
came up to us
any
just
of
to
them.
say hi to us.
The people on the counter were like,
went out of their way to come talk to us, to introduce themselves.
Asking us about what we do, asking about like the games we play and things like that. It was amazing. And so I'm so sorry that you went to your local game store. And the thing is, do you know the saddest thing is we went into the game store and let's be real with ourselves. Most of them were dudes.
From what we could tell.
Most of them were male.
Or male presenting.
Yeah. The last thing that a girl or a woman needs when they head into this place, probably already nervous,
yes,
is to feel so unwelcome and attacked. It's so inappropriate. Not in just this situation, in any situation in life, that is an inappropriate thing to say to somebody that you don't know.
Yeah.
Even to people that you do know.
I know. Would you rather have an orgasm in your mouth or in your stomach? Listen, if some random, doesn't matter who they are, some random fucking person says that to me,
where do you want me to spark you, mate? In your mouth or in your stomach?
I'm having a problem with that. You can't talk to people like that. And you know what? A very common theme in this, when I was looking at RPG horror stories, was the over-sexualization of women.
Yeah.
Women being assaulted by their DM, by other people in their group.
Yeah.
It was shocking, the amount of people. Jesus, on one of the videos we posted on our TikTok, someone came forward and said, "This happened to me as well. Someone over-sexualized my character and made me feel really uncomfortable." What the fuck is that about?
I don't know.
And I didn't include any of those stories in this because some of them were very old. I don't want to, if someone's gone on there to vent about something that just happened to them, I don't want to then read it, bring it up again, and potentially bring all of that back to that person if they see this.
Yeah, we want to be careful with, what we're... Oh, that was our dog.
That was our dog.
We want to be careful with what we're talking about.
Yes, and, I can only speak for myself. I haven't been in a situation like that, so it wouldn't be right for me to speak on it. But I just want to say, if there are women, if there are vulnerable people, trans people, anyone who is vulnerable in your game store or in the game you play in, fucking protect them. Look out for them.
Yeah.
Make that person feel welcome.
Yes.
That's all.
you probably put that person off wanting to ever play D&D ever again. Because
or at least going into your fucking game store.
Like, cause it's so tough because there are people like this within the community. Unfortunately for the rest of us, it's the problem with the loudest in the room, isn't it? Because
exactly.
they think that they're the commanding voice. They're the authority of it.
And they make a joke and the whole table laughs. Yeah, of course they feel like that.
So this person's probably, first of all, never going to want to play D&D again because they probably think that, well, D&D's full of these fucking assholes.
Which it isn't.
Which it isn't. There are those people, but they aren't the majority. And just so you know, just because they're the loudest in the room doesn't mean they speak for all of us.
100%.
And they don't speak for me, and they don't speak for the people who watch these videos.
100%. They actually speak for the minority,
yeah,
I would say. But yeah, loudest in the room, isn't it?
Fuck those guys.
Yeah. And this finishes on, needless to say, I ended up becoming a DM myself, so things worked out in the end. But please show respect to your fellow gamers at the Game Store.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
This is like we said earlier, this is supposed to be a safe space.
Yeah.
And don't think that those people are the sorts of people that are in this community. Because they are, but they're also fucking everywhere because they're like fucking parasites.
And people share our sentiment more than theirs.
Yeah, of course they do.
People, there is no room in the community for that.
No.
At all?
No.
Okay, so we're on to the last two here.
Okay.
One is kind of medium, one is kind of long.
Okay.
So we'll just go over both of them.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Am I being unreasonable? Never posted before, but I'm currently DMing a Waterdeep Dragon Heist campaign for a gaming society. Unpaid with my own materials, VTT sub, and so on.
Okay.
One of my players really rubs me the wrong way. Note that there was no applications or interviews for this campaign. Seats were given on a first-come, first-served basis, with first-time players, which this person is, slightly prioritized.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Fair enough.
So, this person, 1, flat out told me and the other players what time we'd be playing. Didn't ask, we were told. Okay. 2, we play every other week on Mondays. Despite this, she's missed 2 sessions so far, we've had 5 in total, and has been late for 2 others, despite being the one who insisted on an earlier start time. Keeps asking if we're playing every other Monday. I also send reminders a few days in advance. I can basically never tell if she's going to come to the sessions or not. This also happens with 2 other players, but to a lesser extent. That is frustrating.
Very frustrating.
3, missed one of these sessions because she couldn't get her headphones to work, despite the rest of the group spending an hour of in-game time trying to help. 4, by the 5th session, she still doesn't understand how Roll20 works, can't use her spells, etc. I went out of my way to set everything up for her. I held her hand every step of the way, but our combats take as long as the 5 other players put together.
Okay.
5. Sorry, these are bullet points, but I'm giving the numbers. Have I said 5 twice? Who knows? 5 insists on facing, which means being the face of the party. But then she gets angry when she fails. She has negative charisma and no social proficiencies. 6, she gets mad when I said halflings don't have dark vision. Do halflings have dark vision?
Depends what halfling you are, I think. Let me find out for you. Let me fact check that.
Yep. I mean, regardless, right?
Carry
on. A number that I can't remember. She keeps replying to telepathic messages between the party cleric and an NPC. The cleric reminds her of this, audibly, but nothing changes.
Okay.
5 sessions in, she's still missing a skill proficiency, but I've reminded her every time to add one. She randomly AFKs or has to sign off whatever device she's on. Connectivity terrible, IT skills none.
I mean, me, so...
And then comes back, interjects, needs yet another recap. This is on top of the one she needed at the start of the session because she was half an hour late, gave no warning, we started playing, not wanting to waste more game time. So I am admittedly a bit apprehensive of running a game for total strangers, and the campaign has had its hiccups. I'm not an amazing DM by any stretch, but it's kind of grown on me, and I genuinely enjoy other players' companions. And we all have fun, apart from this player's antics. None of the others have complained, though, and I can't help but wonder if I'm that guy of the story myself. I thought this was an interesting one.
This is an interesting one. To me, okay, the technology thing, irrelevant.
I feel like
in my
that.
opinion.
I feel like the technology thing is you're at a point where you're so annoyed at this person, you're just finding things to add.
There are reasons to be annoyed at this person.
Yes,
but
yes.
that isn't it. And look, taking time in combat, there are just naturally people who take a little bit longer. They like to get the most. Not really. They like to get the most out of their go, and some people just feel a bit more pressure than others.
Hey, if you're dealing with spells and stuff, and you're new, which
it can take a long time.
OP did say that they are new.
Yeah.
But then you hear the whole, well, I walked her through everything. I spent the time teaching her,
which is good of you, by the way.
Yeah,
that is good of you.
Yeah, I can understand why that would be frustrating. I think those things by themselves are like, well, they're not really issues, but maybe everything combined is an issue.
I get it. Look, you're a DM. You put a lot of work in. We do. DMs put a lot of work in. And for people to not turn up on time and it's not them not have their shit together, but that is a session 0. We turn up on time. We play this day. If you can't come, you let me know in this much advance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like those are things that can become frustrating if you've set down the ground rules. I don't know if these have had a session 0. There are people out there that don't like to fail.
Yeah.
And I understand. Like, you are playing a dice-based game where you roll a dice.
You're going to fail.
You're going to fail, so you can't let it get on top of you too much.
Yeah.
I understand that failing isn't great. Some people fucking love it.
Yes.
But
some people can take it quite personally.
Yeah, some people can take it quite personally. But so this is a strange one because I do think this person could be doing more.
Yes.
And could be turning up on time and things like that.
I get the feeling this person might not be that into it.
Yeah.
Which some people just aren't.
Fair enough.
I don't know if I would class this necessarily as a horror story.
No,
but
it's more of just a...
what do I do in this situation? Or maybe just getting it off your chest, which is fair enough.
I think that this person, do you want to know what, needs to... Obviously has started out DMing and liked it, and and now they have this is what fucking pisses me off when people do and do not do.
Yeah.
So when I go to a new group, it needs to be session 0.
Yeah.
Turn up on time.
Yeah. To be fair, this DM has actually said they're just doing it for a gaming society.
Yeah.
I don't think this is like a private at-home thing where you do have. They even said there was no vetting of the players.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that would piss me off the most is the keeps replying to telepathic messages between the cleric and an NPC.
Yeah.
Like,
that's annoying.
That seems like that could get into the realms of metagaming.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we had a very similar issue with me because I don't know how many times I'm going to say this, but every time I am a moon druid.
Margaret, it's like, when it's like the first she meets like a brand new person. She's like, "Hi, I play D&D and I'm a moon druid. Actually,
I'm a druid. Actually, yes. And my big thing was I wanted to be able to communicate with the party.
Yeah.
When I was in animal form, because for me that is a huge part of the game for me.
Yeah.
So I took the feat telepathic, so I could talk into people's minds when I was wild shaped. I did that a few times, and then we all just kind of forgot that it was in someone's head, and we all just started replying. And
to you DMs out there, like, you might have a player like Margaret.
What? Who's a forever druid?
I'm about to slander Margaret hard. Margaret asks for a lot. Margaret asks for a lot, and I
love to beg.
Yeah,
I love to beg for things.
You want your cake and you want to eat it.
Oh, I do.
Like, I obviously I make sure that it's okay with the other players as well. Everybody, asks for, because they know that I'm totally fine with it. They ask for, can I get this? Can I have this ability early if we don't get to this level in the game? And I would love this magic item, and I'm totally fine with it. Mm-hmm. Don't be afraid to break the rules if it just means it's a little bit of fucking what is it? What's the words?
Flavor?
No.
Spice?
No.
Food. Ooh. Druid.
Elf. Life.
Quality of life.
That's the one. Why did I struggle so much? My brain just turned off. Don't be afraid to make changes for your party if it's just a bit of quality of life. Because Margaret loves it. She turns
a bit of chit chat.
She just wants to chat with everyone all the time.
I do.
And when we're in a dungeon and she turns into a wolf or a dire wolf or whatever it is you turn into, and and you can't talk to everyone all at the same time.
Makes me real sad.
It makes you sad, and also everyone just fucking talks to you anyways if you're talking out loud. So we were like,
yeah.
the telepathic feat allowed her to just speak in wolf form.
Yeah.
Just happens.
And that might not work for everyone, but geez, it worked for us.
It works for us.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are on to our last one.
All right.
It is a long one.
Okay.
You know what? The first few paragraphs was kind of like, okay. And then suddenly, the last 3, it's like you're being absolutely shot. Like shrapnel. It just turns so quickly.
Go for it.
So please bear with me while I get through this.
Go on.
The DM that almost made me quit D&D.
Okay.
The year was 2010.
Oh my god.
My boyfriend at the time introduced me to Dungeons and Dragons, and I was instantly hooked. D&D was right up my nerdy girl alley. Yay!
Yay!
The chance to step out of reality and into fantasy for a few hours was just the remedy I needed in college. If that ain't the truth.
I'm feeling your vibes.
Oh, yeah. The system I learned to play D&D was 3.5. Now, many of you know the horrors and the insanity of 3.5, but to our group, it was much more enjoyable than Pathfinder or 4th edition.
That is.
My boyfriend was the DM, and we had 3 other friends from college that I played with. A fighter, a ranger, a bard, and I was the druid. Is this person me?
This wasn't you.
Did I write this?
Are they an elf as well?
Yeah, are they an elf? Let me know. Being a new player, I didn't know any of the red flags that were being waved in my face. Of course, I know better now, so I was blissfully ignorant to the unfairness the DM displayed. I feel like this is a common thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you're a new player, you don't really know.
No,
you have no frame of reference.
You think, the rules that be presented or the house rules
exactly.
or the decorum at the table is the way that you play.
Exactly. First, he played favourites. Now, I need to say the quote. You have the grace and decorum of a reversing dump truck. I'm sorry. I couldn't get out of my head. I'm so sorry. Okay. First, he played favourites.
Okay.
Now, he did not play favourites with me, mind you. Actually, he basically ignored my character and never gave her any real roleplay. No, he favoured the fighter and the ranger. He gave them interesting plot developments and their backstories and put the spotlight on them a lot. I was upset, not because he wasn't playing favourites with me, but because I wanted to feel like a part of the group and not just a side character along for the ride.
That's valid.
Yeah, 100%, totally. My first character died by falling down in a pit trap that you have no chance to save yourself from. Okay.
Why are we playing D&D then? Why are we playing a fantasy game? Why are we playing a game where it isn't real and you roll dice to see if crazy things can happen? You have no chance
to save yourself from.
That DM just wanted to kill that character.
And this DM at the time was this person's partner as well.
Really?
Yes. Their boyfriend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Guess what? I feel like that's all I say in these stories.
That's because normally it does.
Gets worse.
I can't wait for the day you go, it's okay, it gets better.
It gets better. I made another character with a rich and fun backstory, a runaway princess who heard the call of a deity and became his paladin.
Cool.
The same stuff continued to happen. The fighter and ranger were placed in the spotlight and my character was just shoved off to the side. We never finished that campaign because of schedule issues that all college kids face.
Understanding.
Fair enough. The second campaign...
Clam pain.
No,
my clam is in pain.
The second campaign I played in, my ex was the DM again. He was the forever DM of the group since a lot of us were newer players. This time we have a new group. I am playing an elf scout. Scout in 3.5 was a mix of ranger and rogue.
Okay.
We also had a rogue, one of my best friends to this day. A cleric, a barbarian, and a bard, the IRL brother of the rogue. The bard, rogue, barbarian, and cleric had just finished a mission for the chief of a nomadic group. The chief is my character's father.
Cool.
They come to the camp and there is a celebration going on. My character is on stage with a band playing her ocarina. The bard is instantly enthralled by her. My scout and his bard instantly hit it off and they have a connection. This is where the next red flag popped up that I didn't notice.
Oh, no. Oh, no. No, I can see where this is going. No.
Yes. My ex got instantly upset that our characters were flirting with each other. He did not know how to separate character from player.
Okay.
Which is also a very common thing in these stories, is people getting upset because of in-game romances.
Yes,
which,
it is.
You know what? I understand.
Yeah.
I do sympathize with that, but just have a conversation and talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about this before in the show.
Yeah.
So if this comes up, let's just say in that session, it comes up, the DM, probably the right thing to do is not squash it there and then, in the moment, in the character development, in the after the session,
which can be hard when you're hurt by something. I understand that.
I understand that. After the session, there should be a conversation about why they aren't comfortable.
Yep.
Boundaries that need to be set.
Exactly.
And like a trust needs to be established.
100%. Then there needs to be a conversation to get it all out in the open and say exactly where everyone stands, and only then can it be okay, regardless of how it ends up transpiring from there.
As much as some people can't fathom it, this is a common thing in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, no, relationships are 100% a common thing.
Relationships and flirting and, you know, your character is a real person that lives in this world.
Yes.
And there are some people, and I understand this, there are some people that cannot separate the emotions that they feel from the emotions that their characters feel.
Yeah.
And I think that is obviously a boundary that this DM
has to talk about.
Yeah. But it comes to a point where does this DM get to tell their girlfriend,
the ex-girlfriend at this point,
you cannot do this?
I know. Where is the line?
Where is the line? Because there is a boundary, yes. There is trust, yes. But if this person says, it's just a game, it's what my character would do, and I can separate the two, and if this DM goes, well, no, you can't because I don't like it, boom.
I know.
I don't fight me on it all you want and tell me what you think, but you cannot just tell your partner what to do. No,
absolutely not. But again, this all stems from having a conversation.
Yeah.
This all stems from, listen, a relationship is give and take. You have to meet in the middle.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds like we're talking about these characters that don't exist, but they do exist.
To us, they exist.
They do exist. And they are in a world, and their characters are not the same as them, and they have feelings. Do you want to know how this DM reacted? Well, I'm going to tell you anyway. So, my character flirted with a bard, but I myself did not flirt with the player. He was the younger brother of my best friend, younger than me, and I was loyal to my then boyfriend at the time.
Okay.
My ex never told me that this upset him. He never mentioned it during the game, after the game, or after the campaign was over.
Okay.
It would be years after we broke up that he brought it up when we were talking about old characters. And here is the lead up to one of the most disheartening things he ever told me. So the whole point we just made there, if you need to bring it up.
Like,
Homeboy never brought it up.
This guy was upset in this session. Do you know what? Fair enough, he didn't say anything in the session. That's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
He should have waited until after everyone had gone home, because it's nobody else's business.
Yeah.
After everyone had gone home and finished, it was just those two. If he'd have gone, what happened today made me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And they had a conversation and they set boundaries. And if she explained to him, they're two different people. My character is not me. And I know that some of you won't agree with us that you can't separate the two, but for some people, it's crazy, I know, but they can.
Yeah, and you can set, like, lines and veils. Things that you see, things you don't see, things you know that happened.
And if that had happened at that moment, after the session, and there was an open line of communication, and they had agreed whether yes to or whether not to, and that doesn't mean he gets to tell her what to do.
Yes, there has to be a meeting in the middle.
Yes,
there has to be a compromise, because that's being in a relationship.
But let me guess. That didn't
I
happen.
don't think you can even guess what's going to come next.
Hit me.
I don't think you can even guess
My mind has been fucking blown by some of these, so let's go.
The bard and my scout were both young in elf years. They flirted awkwardly with each other, not sure of one another's feelings. Encouraged by the rogue, his IRL brother, the bard finally told my character that he liked her, and she mustered her courage and said she liked him too. I just got goosebumps reading that.
That's really cute.
It's a shame I know what happens. Almost.
Rocks fall and everyone dies.
There's a Tarrasque. After half a year in-game time and about a month or two IRL time, our characters finally lose themselves to each other. We are respectful and we do not roleplay this. We had a fade to black moment after every touching roleplay session between the two of them, where they admit their true feelings and promise themselves to each other.
Fair.
The rest of the table really enjoyed it and thought it was great character development for them both. My ex did not. After that one night, he told us that my character is pregnant and she only has a few months before it is dangerous to travel. She talks it out with the group and they all agree she should return to her village and have her child. The bard decides to go with her since they promised to stay together. They say their goodbye to their friends and together on horseback they return to her village. Sorry, that gave me a lump in my throat. My ex would tell us a few sessions later, after we each brought in a new character, that our bard and scout had been ambushed on the road. The bard had his head cut off in front of my scout before she had been assaulted and then stabbed to death. Myself and the whole table were visually upset by this. My ex was oblivious to our disgust. Now to what he told me years later. Shall we talk about that?
Yeah,
first?
Fuck you.
That is just...
Fuck you,
that
you
is,
fucking asshole.
That is so cruel.
Why would you do that?
That gave me a lump in my throat just thinking about that. That is beyond cruel to do that. Jeez, you're watching your characters roleplay these such intense emotions. It probably is cathartic in a way to witness this happening.
You spend weeks, and every week you think about what your character would do and things, and like for a romance or for an in-game inter-party relationship to like take its course and have like that courting moment into a full-blown relationship is just like, you know, it's something that it doesn't just happen, and this hasn't just happened. This has taken weeks.
This has been in-game half a year, and in real life, months. And to have it reduced to his head was cut off, then she was assaulted.
Pathetic.
I'm sure, I can't say how, but you all understand what I'm saying when I say assaulted. And then stabbed to death.
Does it say something different?
It says something different.
Right, okay.
And you know exactly what.
It's fucking disgusting.
That is vile.
Disgusting.
That is truly vile. I am surprised that the people at the table stayed for that. If I had even heard that, I would have been beside myself.
I'd have just fucking got up and walked out.
I also would have gotten up and walked out.
And I'd have said to everybody else, "Oh, let's go."
And I know for a fact anyone at our table would have absolutely left. And to be fair, OP does say everyone was visually upset.
Why is it? This is just because you're the DM doesn't mean you're fucking God.
No.
So, like, that is, see, there you go. Everyone's always talking about like the relationship being the thing that bleeds into the game. This person's allowed their emotions to bleed into the game and ruin their entire party's session. This DM has ruined that entire relationship.
Well, completely ruined it.
That it's tainted.
Completely ruined it.
What was the point in all of their months of trying to build this up?
I know.
Why didn't he just say after the very first moment...
This upset me.
This upsets me, instead of letting it brew.
You just ruined the whole thing for everyone because you couldn't have a conversation about your feelings. And I understand sometimes people think, well, I'm not going to bring this up because I don't want to cause a fuss. I don't want any confrontation. If you hold on to your negative feelings for that long, you do everyone around you a disservice.
You make it worse.
And that's something I have learned personally through years of being an angry little fuck.
Yeah.
If you hold on to these feelings, everyone suffers.
Yeah.
And clearly that is what happened.
But this DM's obviously had an issue with this romance since day one. So why didn't it just get brought up day one?
Well, here is the aftermath of this a few years later.
And just before we go ahead.
Yes, no.
If this DM has a problem with the romance and he says it to the person, and the person says, "Oh no, I understand. Like, yeah, I just won't do it."
It would have been over.
It's done. I like don't think that if that's a boundary you want to set in your relationship, that's fine. And like if the player respected that, fine. But that didn't happen.
To say nothing, to then
murder their characters.
To allow them to be like, to throw the spanner in the works that she's pregnant and she has to leave.
Already, I wasn't a fan of that.
No way. Absolutely not. That is not okay.
Just because you have sex does not mean you're pregnant.
What?
Does not mean you get pregnant.
Like,
and you know, like
that is taking control over well, I'm in DMing, I'm sure it's a thing, but in like the literature world, it's a term God moding, where you just play God for your characters and suddenly decide things. This is like, so wrong.
When we think of like when you guys like think of your characters and you think of how they integrate into the law, how they integrate into society, their belief system, their like how they grow and how they change. We can spend years and years with these characters, and they can become a part of us. And for that guy to just take that away and basically make it out of the player's control,
and to be so vile to his then girlfriend at the time, to say that her character saw her partner be beheaded and then for her to be assaulted in a certain way, that is, you have problems. You have issues you need to talk to someone about, because that is unacceptable. So we'll finish it on the conversation that they had a few years after this whole incident. So, OP. One of my favorite characters I played besides my paladin was my scout. She was fun. X. Oh yeah, I remember, the one who hooked up with a bard and got pregnant. OP. Yep, that one. You know, the way you described their deaths was really gross, and you didn't need to tell us. It was meta information we didn't have. X. Oh, I know. But I was upset you were flirting with a bard, and I figured it would stop you from flirting from any other players. My jaw was on the floor after that. I did not know how to respond other than very flat and emotionless. OP. Then why didn't you talk to me about this at the time? X. I didn't think it would make a difference. We talked for a few more minutes before I made the excuse to get off the phone. And there are many more stories about my ex-boyfriend DM that also made me quit D&D, but those will have to wait till another time. That is...
Fuck you.
That is just...
That's just manipulation.
That is, I was going to say, that is absolute textbook. Well, I did it so you didn't flirt with any of the other players. What the fuck? Who do you think you are?
Yeah, this is what I mean though. In that first instance, if he goes, I'm uncomfortable with it, and then she goes, oh well, I want to do it.
You meet in the fucking middle somewhere.
You do, or you just understand that you don't see eye to eye on this thing, and then you go from there. Whether it is you meet in the middle, or maybe this relationship isn't correct for you.
Yeah.
But that's just manipulation.
You don't get to make decisions to scare someone from doing something.
You don't own this girl.
Absolutely not.
You don't get to make decisions for her.
Absolutely not.
But because you're sat at the end of that table pretending like you're God, you think that you can just fucking control what she does.
And the fact that they said there are many more stories. I'm so sorry.
Is it X now?
Oh, it's X
Thank
now.
fucking God.
Yes, it's X now.
This person... Man, I fucking feel sorry for any person who got in a relationship with that person. Well, I feel like the deepest sorrow.
I know. Well, and OP even says, we were college kids, which to us in UK is like 18 to like 20, I guess.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck how old he was.
But the fact that OP was a young person, first started DM, and this was the first impression that they got. I don't know how old the X was, but fuck, that doesn't matter. And you know what, Jack? That is not the worst. Out of all the RPG horror stories of exes being manipulative, boyfriends assaulting intentionally female players that way, absolutely unbelievable.
Why the fuck do fucking dudes think that they have the power to just fucking... I'm not going to say the word, assault, because the amount of ones that you went through and you were like, This one's about assault. This one's about assault.
It's because
this one's about assault.
They're not told that they can't by society.
No means no.
Then they're not told that. And going back to the story of the girl in the game shop, the guy made that misogynist comment to her, being like, "Oh, I bet you're just gonna do girl stuff." Whole table laughed. You don't realize how, yes, it looks on the surface, haha, that's a funny joke, but that empowers that person to then potentially say it to another woman.
It's a feedback loop, isn't it?
It is.
This guy says it, those guys laugh. He's like, I'm such a funny guy.
And then it gets worse and worse
and
then
he just thinks he can do it and do
worse.
it and do it and do it. And it's like, at what point does that guy get knocked down a peg and told that he can't? Well, do you want to know what?
Well, no,
do you want to know what? Hey, right here. Listen to me and look at me right now. If you think that behavior is okay, let me tell you that it's not. And if you ever act like that, and I'm there, I'll fucking bring it up to you, and I'll ask you why you think it's okay. And I know that it's scary.
It is.
And if you're in that moment and you witness something like that, I implore you to stand up and say to that person, why do you think that's okay to say?
Yeah.
Why do you think that misogynistic comments and fucking punching down on these people who are brand new here is okay? Because it's fucking not.
It's not. And it never will be, and it never has been.
And the thing is, nobody's ever said it to that person, and we need to fucking start to say, that's not okay.
I agree. I fully agree with
and
you.
And maybe in the future, that stupid fucking cunt, do you want to know what? Maybe I shouldn't be a complete nut to fucking misogynistic twat.
Yeah. I agree.
I fucking hate it.
There's no space for people like that.
Nah.
In this community. Say it with me. No space for people like that.
No space. This is what we mean. This is what we mean. This has been a it's not now, and it hasn't been for so long. And I'm not saying that, like, in every walk of life, whether it be sport, whether it be music, whether it be art, like, this shit runs deep.
Yeah, it does.
This shit happens everywhere.
Yeah, it does.
And I implore you, and I understand it's scary, and don't think you aren't strong enough if you don't feel like you can say it. But as long as we hold the same belief structure, and as long as we, like, curate these communities to not let those people in, and they're on the outside.
Yeah. Yes.
If they're on the outside looking in, being like, why am I not allowed in?
Or maybe you're the problem.
Maybe it's because I'm the problem. That's when.
Yeah.
You don't have to stand up and say it, but if you do, I fucking applaud you.
Yeah.
I stand with you and I applaud you.
There's that saying, I use this all the time in A Bug's Life, where they're like, one ant can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck me. If all of them do something, we're all fucked. And I'm not comparing us to... Sorry, that was... You know what? That was a really bad example.
No, I get it though. It's like, one voice is hard to be heard, but if
many voices...
But all of those little voices, if they say the same thing at the same time, they can be heard.
And you're probably here right now because you agree with something we said, or you have a similar outlook to us. Again, I think the majority of people do.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And if you don't, again, and if you're watching this, before you just fucking attack me and say that I'm wrong and I should check myself and stuff like that, maybe look at yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe think about why you disagree with me.
Yeah. I think everyone, including us, need to have some introspection.
Yeah.
And take a look and see, why do I feel this way about this thing?
And we're not perfect.
No.
And we'll never be perfect. And
No.
we can always learn. But the problem is, it's when you don't want to learn.
Yes, it's when you're not willing to look inward, and when you're not willing to listen to the people around you. Mm-hmm. That's when it's a problem.
Yeah.
No, God, we are not perfect.
No, I
Not
never
at
claim
all.
to be, but I feel like at least I'm trying to do the right thing sometimes.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are. And I would like to say it's few and far between, but it's not, because the amount of stories like this, to be honest, reading that subreddit was an eye-opener to how bad it still is, and it shouldn't be. So, you know what? Yeah, it did get quite heavy in this, but you have to talk about these things.
These things are real. There's no point hiding away and being like, the community is perfect. It's not. But I think it is there is a lot of safe places in this community,
and this is one of them.
Yeah, and we're gonna try and make this one of them. So,
unless you're a racist, in which case, I'll cave your head in.
We do not condone physical violence on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, that just about does it.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I think we got a little bit heated there, but
Yeah.
understandably, I'm sure some of you did too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you all, every single one of you.
Thank you for being you.
Mm-hmm.
And this has been
The Eldritch Podblast.
We'll see ya in the next one.
time.
Bye.